Commissioner Payne.
Oh, okay. Are we ready? The time has come for us to do our public duty as the Louisville Park County Board of Commissioners, and we will stand and say the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good morning. I'm Candace Payne. I'm chair of this meeting, I guess I'm chair. To my left is Tom Rolfe, vice chair. Morning, Tom.
Good morning.
To his left is Brandy. Morning, Brandy.
Morning.
Recording secretary. And to her left is Jenny Chambers, head of Public Works and Planning. To my right is Commissioner Andy Huntouch. And from the county attorney's office, and Roger Bartz, who is our AO. Good morning. There. We have a sign-in sheet on the table up there in the front and a pile of agendas if you want to follow along. And there, I think that's good, all the regular stuff. Okay. Oh, consent action item is the only consent action item we have is vendor claim. Okay, Roger, present this, please.
Thank you, Chair Payne and Commissioners. This is item 2A on the agenda today. As you just noted, Commissioner Payne, this is vendor claims report for week ending November 7, 2025. Staff recommends approval of that item, and Marni Bentley is here today as usual. Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Thank you. Is there any questions from the commission? Seeing none, I would like to comment that I was very pleased to receive a hard copy of this report yesterday. So I got to give it a good look at before we got this action item. The consent action item. Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, could I have a motion, please?
Chair Payne, I would move to approve consent action item 2A, vendor claims report for the week ending November 7th, 2025, as presented by Rand Paul. Okay.
Been moved and seconded that we approve consent action item 2A. Is there any further comment from the commission? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Now into the exciting part of our agenda, the action item 3A, elected official updates. And I think the only person here with Amy, could you give us a little update? I think everybody is home recovering from all their workouts.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. I have five departments. I have the accounting department, the elections department, motor vehicle, property tax and record, and Amy Reeves, the Park County Treasurer for the recorder. Today I was going to start with just going alphabetically through my departments and giving a little update on how things are going.
This is the quarterly report.
Not necessarily our quarterly, just kind of an update of how our businesses are doing.
Got my tax notes yesterday, so it's thinking everybody knows.
Yes, they have been mailed out.
Yeah.
Great. Our accounting department has gone through their fiscal year end. It usually takes a couple of months to get everything finalized and ready for our audit, which is currently underway. Our staff is busy providing those answers and questions to those questions that our auditors have. We also have to provide a lot of information to them so they can check and make sure everything is accurate and reported correctly. Our audit this year may not be finalized in our normal time frame. the federal shutdowns are affecting those. We have some federally required compliance things that we need to do, and we don't have guidance on those compliance requirements until everybody gets back into the government positions there for the federal government. So we are waiting on those. So again, our audit may be a little bit later than normal. Staff is also working with the vendors for our new financial software, and the plan is to go live in January of 2026. Very, very busy. And our elections department, we just went through our municipal election this week. On Tuesday night, we were here till just before midnight. We have provisionals that will be counted on Monday, this coming Monday, November 10th at 3 p.m. And at this point, we have 6 provisionals to count. We have a canvas that's going to be coming up for that election on November 17th at 1:30 in room 309. And then something that happened in legislation this year is that on the outside of the affirmation envelopes, the birth year is required. So not only do you need to sign it, you need to put your birth year on, and that's very important for our voters to realize. We are required to reject those ballots if they don't have the birth year in. We will treat them as we do with a signature that is missing. We will try to contact those citizens or voters with any means that we have possible, whether it might be a phone number, email, address, a letter. So we are actively trying to contact those when that situation happens, but they only have until the day after election till 5 p.m. to clear those up. So for this election, they have till Wednesday and yesterday at 5 p.m. to clear up any of those signature or birth year issues that we may have had. So we did do a soft launch in our September municipal election to let voters know that they did need to fill in the birth year. It wasn't required for that election. It was just a soft launch to get people to be to know about it. It covered our Helena School District and our city residents, the city of Helena. So it was a very good soft launch. And then before this particular election, we sent out flyers to let the voters in the areas that were pertaining to the election know that they needed to fill those in. We were a very lucky county because we had only, I think, around 42 at one point that were missing or had the incorrect birth year. I think some of our voters may have got confused and put the current year versus their birth year in there. Some of the other counties, I don't know if you saw the news, that they had well over 500 rejects because of the birth year. So again, we were very fortunate, and we're planning to put out more educational information for the upcoming elections that will cover more of our county, and we will probably be putting the same flyers in the same everyone's ballot, whether they're inside those areas that have already had an election this year or outside those areas. Just want to make sure that our voters are informed, and that if their ballot gets to us, that we want to make sure that they will keep.
I have a comment. You mentioned that Wilson Clark County is lucky because we only had 40. Think you make your own luck, and we can thank you for the preliminary run and trying to get the information out so our citizens are informed as to this. And so it's not all luck. And we can thank you for a lot of the success that we've had in our election process. So thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All right, the Motor Vehicle Department, just an update there. We are, as of today, fully staffed. We had a brand new employee come in today to complete that vacancy. So we're very pleased to have our staff fully here, and fingers crossed we'll be able to keep them for a while or a long time. With that, I wanted to mention that we have our car software versus Merlin software. Remember in March of this year, actually, we went to the CARS program, and the old annotated Merlin software was replaced. The benefit that we're seeing is we don't have the very long lines that we've had in the past, so some went really well. Some of those things were because the Merlin software I felt was probably stretched a little too thin. It was very slow. You had to wait for it to update every button and push it, seemed like. So the speed of the new system is very helpful and it's been great. The other option that it has that we didn't have before is it is pre-filling some of the information that we had typoed went over throughout the screen. So it also less errors, less typos and missed, fields and things like that where we may have missed address or, putting avenue versus road or something. So that's been very helpful. And the other thing that's been very helpful is on the screens, it actually allows us to pick a form that is appropriate for that person's title work. And it pre-fills most of the information on that form or before my staff was having to handwrite those forms or type them up. So again, saving us a lot of time, and it's been very beneficial in helping our citizens get through the process a lot quicker. We're very pleased. The next department I'm going to talk about is our property tax department. Just to let everyone know, our real estate tax bills have been mailed out. They are due December 1st this year. They are normally due to the November 30th date, but that falls on the weekend, so they have until December 1st. We are accepting payments by mail. They can come in person. They can drop it off in our building and have 3 drop-off boxes inside the building located by the exterior doors. And then they can also pay online or over the phone. Both of those payments have a fee depending on the type of payment they're making. There is also, I wanted to note that we were temporarily down on our website for the tax bill link so that they could make tax payments because of actually creating those tax bills. So there was a little bit of time that we were down. And something new this year, the 2025 legislation, when they were in the legislative session, they were trying to accommodate property tax owners and helping them reduce their taxes. But with that, there's also a homestead and long-term rental exemption. So our property owners were able to apply for the state's rebate of the $400. If they apply for that rebate and got it, they are enlisted in the homestead exemption or probably that second rental exemption. That will flow over to the 2026 tax bill. But if they are a new homeowner, purchasing a brand new bill, that's built in 2025, or if they are actually buying or selling, they're going to have to reapply for that homestead exemption. And the window for that is between December 1st of this year to March 1st of next year. So it's a very small window, even though our tax bill won't go out until November of that year. So I want to make sure that our citizens are aware that they should go ahead and research that and apply for it. And that's through the state of Montana's Department of Revenue. We also have a link to that site on our website, but also on their website. Our records department is seeing a little bit of a downturn in home sales, and it is nice for our office because we've been extremely busy over the last few years, and it's allowing them to catch up on some of their other duties and not be so rushed on getting things filed or recorded. Also, with the 2025 legislation, we had a change in our recording fees. It started October 1st of this year. That increase of those fees had not happened for 40 years. So we're very happy that they were able to look at those fees and increase them. So it's more with today's economy. It's kind of one side there better. Years ago, our revenues were in I think I researched 1995, but our revenues for recording were like 250,000. And I think I looked at 2024, and they were only about 40 to 50,000 more than that. And obviously, our increase in cost of living has changed a lot since 1985. So we're very excited that that has happened, and we'll help fund that department a little bit better by having those fees increase. And that fee went from $8 a page to $20 for the first page and $10 for additional pages. Not all of that money is going to stay with our department or within the county. Part of that is going to go to county GIS and to the state library. And part of that did go before that they got an increase with the increase of $. So that's all I have for today. I just want to let everybody know we have a lot of things going in all those departments. Now, do you have any questions for me?
Any questions by Commissioner?
Sure.
Yeah, just a comment that your staff, doesn't have a big pile of people waiting again to pay car taxes and transfers and whatnot, like you mentioned. And it's made it a lot easier for folks to get in and out. I think you've done a great job of working with your staff and the new systems and take better care of our customers. So thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say one last thing is to put a little shout out there for my staff. They've been working very hard and very dedicated and that them they could be.
Anything else?
Sure.
Andy?
Treasurer Clerk and Recorder Reeves, thank you for being here today. Really appreciate it because this whole setup is designed for us quarterly to invite our fellow elected to come and have opportunities, let the public know what you're up to, what you're doing, much less about reporting out to us or anything like that. So I just want to appreciate you being here, first of all, and thank you for doing this and being willing to participate. But all good news. I mean, I think it's already said, you know, that the CARS implementation, as well as being fully staffed. As a matter of fact, I got to meet Opal this morning, the new person. And it's wonderful. I get comments all the time about how much better it's going than a few years ago, prior system being so short staffed and all of that. So kudos to you. Great election again. And I think just you can tell by how people are, well, the number of folks that didn't fill out their ballots part of their envelopes properly, as well as what you hear on the street and how efficient it is and how well your staff treats people and all of that. So kudos to you. And there's so much going on down there. It's really appreciate the work. Like you said, it takes a great team to do it, and it's fun to go down and talk to them, but they are busy. I'm really glad that you have your job and I have my job. I'm not sure I can do your job, and I really appreciate the work that you do, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there any other elected official updates? Seeing none. We need to approve that action item. Nope, okay, good thing Miko's here. Moving right along, action item 3B. This was security, courthouse security grant award agreement between Lewis and Clark County and the First Judicial District Office of the Court Administrator, presented by our friend David.
Good morning, Chair Payne, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Jenny Chambers, with Clark County Public Works and Planning Department Director. For your consideration today is a grant award and agreement from the Office of Court Administrator, the First Judicial District, for the purpose of improving court security. The grant will provide $15,000 to the county for projects that will increase and improve court security. Projects must be pre-approved through a security review process in partnership with the Office of Court Administrators, Court Security Specialist, and also our internal courthouse security work group. There is no match required for this grant. The first project that is anticipated currently is an initial allocation of $2,500 for the safety modification to the standing master courtroom. This is Judge Rowe's courtroom at the courthouse. Staff recommends approval of the Board of County Commissioners to approve the grant award for the Office of Court Administrator and authorize the chair to sign the grant agreement. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jenny. I see that our head of he runs all the buildings.
Chair Payne, yes, Matt Carly's here, the building supervisor within Public Works.
And I would like to have him come forward and talk to us about what he has done to make our standing master's courtroom more secure. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Chair Payne, Commissioner, Matt McCarty, Lewis Clark County Buildings. So this is an agreement that we've been kind of working towards with the district court system. They focus on our standing master's courtroom, which was threw together kind of rapidly with coordination with the district court. But some safety issues that came up, this first 2,500 isn't what we've been referring to as a quick fix. Their clerk is kind of trapped in a corner if they have an incident in the courtroom. This would modify the current judge's bench and isolate her from the rest of the courtroom, give her the same path egress as the judge to get to the chambers for safety if an incident did break out. Along with this, it's going to be an evaluation of the modification capabilities of the bench to raise the bench to a standard height as the other judges in the courtroom, so that she's not at eye level with the activities going on in the courtroom. It would also look at reaccessing a closed off door that would give them a second path of egress from behind the bench in case of an emergency. But as part of this smaller project that would at least create some safety barriers for now. And then getting that evaluation, we'll look to move to that bigger project once we kind of have a firm number. They're all aware of kind of the overall plan. But this little first step was what was necessary to get to this point.
Thank you, Matt. I went over and toured that courtroom with the clerk over there, and she was pointing out to me all the scary things. And in family court, there's a lot of unbridled emotion. It's a big deal. People are emotional. And, I think this is a great first step. Appreciate your efforts on it. Thank you. Is there any questions? Okay. Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, I'd entertain a motion.
Chair Payne, I move that we approve the Courthouse Security Grant Award Agreement between Lewis and Clark County and First Judicial District Office, Court Administrator.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve this courthouse security grant award agreement as explained by Tenney Chambers and Matt Authority. Is there any further comments from the commission?
Then
Seeing none? All those? I do, oh, yes, I did. Okay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Next on our agenda, action item 3C. Well, this is a complicated one, isn't it? Good morning, Kevin. By the way, Kevin, I'm sorry I didn't get you up here yesterday in a timely fashion.
Chair Payne, no apologies.
So, action item 3C is resolution 2025-117, dissolving the Lewis and Clark County Fair Commission. And this will be presented by Kevin Kent.
Good morning, Chair Payne, Commissioners. I'm here today with a couple of things for you. First one being the dissolving of the Lewis and Clark County Fair Commission, commonly referred to as the Fair Board. We will be following up this resolution to name the former Fair Commission the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds Advisory Committee. I could go into more detail, but I would probably defer to Hash, as this came from him, and he's going to know a lot more about it than I can. If you have any questions.
I think this is one of those things to try to head off trouble for stuff, right? Nico, you want to comment?
Madam Chair and Commissioners, I think it's probably what we see called kind of a cleanup process. So we're addressing maybe some leftover ways that historically things have been done or things have been structured. And so this process to formally dissolve the Fair Commission and adopt an advisory board brings in what the county, what we've all heard from the county commissions about how they want to structure the advice and input coming from the group that's handling our fairgrounds and our county fair and so forth. So, like Mr. Tenney said, I could also go into a really long background about all of this too. Happy to do so.
It seems to me this is, I got to serve on this board. And I think it's kind of reflects what's actually happening out there rather than what we, if it's a board, it has different authority. And they're not supposed to have that kind of authority, and so we're fixing this. Is there any questions from the commission?
No, I'm, Chair Payne, I currently serve on that, board, the board or the advisory committee, and I really think it's a good idea to modernize the bar and clarify what the organization is about, and be more specific about the support it's to give you as the fair manager. Good idea.
Any further comment? Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, could I have a motion, please?
Chair Payne, I would move to approve resolution 2025-117. A resolution dissolving the Lewis and Clark County Fair Commission. That's explained by Kevin.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 2025-117 as presented by Kevin and Tenney. Any further discussion from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Don't go away. Item 3D on our agenda is resolution 2025-118. Resolution creating the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds Advisory Board and bylaws, as explained by Kevin Tenney. Go for it.
Thank you, Chair Payne. Again, this resolution is to create an advisory only board to assist the Board of County Commissioners and staff in oversight and operation for the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds. The Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds Advisory Board would replace what was known prior as Lewis and Clark County Fair Board. Staff recommended approval of resolution 2025-108 to create the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds Advisory Board.
I'm looking at the resolution that I'm going to have to sign, and the title of it says, a resolution creating the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds Advisory Board and bylaws. Is that, okay, bylaws is in the notice. And do we have the bylaws in? Yes, we do. Okay, moving. Is there any questions here from the commission? Andy?
No, and one thing that's really important to me is it's very clear that the current members of the old Fair Commission will be the members of the new advisory board. So there's a continuity there of the folks that are supporting the advisory. I think it makes good sense.
Right. Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment. The motion.
Chair Payne, I move that we approve resolution 2025-118 as presented.
Second.
And moved and seconded that we approve resolution 2025-118, creating the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds Advisory Board and bylaws. Is there any further comment? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. to item 3E, resolution 2025-19, a resolution to authorize the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds manager as a contract signatory. You want to explain this for us, Kevin?
Absolutely, Chair Payne. The fairground manager has historical verbal authorization from the board to execute contracts which are revenue neutral or revenue generating, including but not limited to facility rental agreements, commercial vendor space rental agreements, rodeo agreements, entertainment agreements, and food concessionaire contracts. This resolution would continue that authorization. Basically, if we had to, I believe the intention behind this was we do 50 contracts a month for facility rentals, for rodeo clowns or hypnotists for fair. We do a lot of contracts throughout the year. The fairgrounds manager has always had the authorization to assign those. These don't include contracts for building construction or anything like that. It's just for generating contracts that we do. And this would just continue that policy. I mean, I could send them to you, all of them, every day.
This seems like a pretty common sense way to do it. From what I've seen of the operation here in Lewis and Clark County, there are people amongst us who keep a very tight grip on where the money goes. And whether you're approving it or we are, everybody knows about it. So I'm comfortable with this resolution. So, is there any comment from the commission?
You know, I would agree, Chair Payne, and I believe it makes good sense to be efficient and take care of those contracts, particularly during fair time, but other times when you put it on big events, why not? So, makes good sense.
My one other comment would be, we get very used to, how long have you been doing this, Kevin? Number of years.
Well, I've been at the fairgrounds since 2005. So,
Yeah, okay, so 20 years. And so we kind of have an expectation of trust with you. Or the guy or the person who comes in to, if you move on or have a stroke or whatever happens, somebody else will have your job, and I hope we can have someone that we're as comfortable with as you are. Yes, okay. Any further comment from the commission? Seeing none. Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, would I have a motion?
Chair Payne, I would move to approve resolution 2025-119, a resolution to authorize the Lewis and Clark County Fairgrounds manager as a contract signatory, as explained by Kevin Tenney.
Second. Been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 2025-119. Is there any further comment from the commission? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving this resolution indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Kevin. Well, good work. Oh, and now the fun. Item 3F is a comment for a court-ordered division for the estate of Ellen Catherine Murphy. And this will be explained to us by Crystal Ness.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Crystal Ness, Development Services Supervisor for the county. This morning you have before you a ability to comment on court-ordered division for the estate of Ellen Catherine Murphy. I pulled up on the screen here where the property is located, which is this large parcel right here. There was a 1 acre in holder that was excluded from the deed when they purchased this large piece of property. The Murphys actually owned this property as well. However, they had previously deeded that independently to one of the sons. This court ordered division would allow the creation of a 1 acre parcel to the north of this inholder 1 acre parcel. And then there would be the remainder of approximately 77.5 acres. At this particular point in time, there's actually a survey that's attached to your packet on your exhibit B. I have had some conversations with the surveyor who is preparing this survey, which will actually come in for review. The original deed was for 77.5 acres. And if you take an acre away from that, we've now got 76.5 acres. However, they show it as 79.04 acres. So I don't really understand where the discrepancy is on that, but when it comes in for formal review, we will get to the bottom of that. You will notice in your packet that we have the findings of fact and conclusions of law in the order that were filed with the court in April of 2025. This has actually been a contested will, and the court has had to have a hearing and has taken action, and there's an order that's attached to these findings of fact, conclusion of law in the order. Our action comes on a motion to approve the partition of real property pursuant to the will. The court actually found that Ellen Murphy was actually of sound mind when she executed her will. That was the issue of the contested hearing in this matter. There will be another hearing on the motion for the approval of the partition of real property. But at this point in time, the 76.3201(1)A provides the court, or provides the commission the opportunity to comment on this court order division. I've gone through my staff report has gone through the location, the existing development and uses. You can see we've got a number of address points here. The top 3 lots on the west side of Glass Drive have yet to be developed. But most of these properties here are developed with single family homes in an average of 5 to 20 acres. There is possible high groundwater in this location, which could affect the ability to do a septic system on that large parcel. Of course, the 1 acre inholder there's actually already a dwelling there. That's where Mrs. Murphy lived. So my recommendations is that should the court grant the motion for the partition, we would submit a comment that the court's order should instruct the co-personal representatives that a certificate of survey is required to be prepared pursuant to Montana Code annotated in the administrative rules. The court's order should instruct the co-personal representatives that their property is subject to the requirements of the Lewis and Clark County on-site wastewater treatment regulations. And the court's order should instruct the co-personal representatives that large parcel should be addressed. And I'm here for any questions.
I looked at this. I know the parcel in the family, and it's my understanding that the large parcel, it was Ellen's intent that this remain as a pasture, not as subdivided lot. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So even though if they decide to turn this into individual land parcels, they will have to comply with the zoning regulations and the limitations that are in law when they do it, not when the death or when this property transfers.
Madam Chair, that's correct. Should they decide to divide this larger parcel into other parcels, they'll have to comply with zoning, and they will also have to go through the subdivision and plating act, where we'll deal with all of the implications for wells and septic systems and access and all of those things that we address with subdivision review.
Okay, thank you. Is there any further questions from the commission? Seeing no further questions, is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment. Not exactly sure how the motion would be stated so that it accurately reflects what it is we're trying to do here.
Madam Chair, what we will do is we will send a letter with your signature to the court with our recommendations that I have explained here, which are these three fairly simple recommendations. We cannot require court order divisions are exempt from subdivision review. They're exempt from DEQ review for water and wastewater. So our hands are tied statutorily relative to what we can actually require from these folks to divide this property.
Okay, and so, all right, I've looked at the comments, they seem very reasonable, I guess. My concern, but do you know what you're gonna do, Andy?
Do you want
How do we state
We
this
just-
motion?
to, Chair Payne, I think we just make a motion to make the recommended comments, yes, to the court. And then Krista will create a letter after we do that for you to sign. So it's very simple.
Experience is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Okay, let's, what,
We need help, second the motion.
well, we haven't had a motion.
Oh, for what? Yeah.
We did the public comment, and now we need motion.
Okay.
Okay,
Chair Payne, I would move that we make the comment to the court, the three recommended comments that have been read into the record by Crystal Matt.
Second.
it has been moved and seconded that the commission approve the comments for court order division as explained by Crystal Ness. Is there any further comment from the commission?
Chair Payne,
Andy?
I just want to thank Crystal. Good work. This is well explained, and it is an oddity that we don't see very often, but we've done it a few times since getting here, and it's always interesting. But thanks for the clear, concise explanation about what we're actually doing. What might happen.
Chair Payne, Commissioner Hunthausen, you're welcome.
Okay. Seeing no further comment, all those in favor of approving the action item 3F, comment for court order division for the estate of Ellen and Catherine Murphy, as explained by Crystal Ness, indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion is approved. Boy, that was fun, wasn't it? Okay, we have come to the point of our meeting where we will accept public comment on any public matter within the jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda above. And nothing? Okay, well, in that case, we're adjourned.